Liam sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the faded photograph on the nightstand. It was of his mother, smiling warmly, her eyes full of life and love. He held it gently, as if the photo itself could give him some comfort, some connection to her. She had been gone for 3 years now, and the house felt emptier with every passing day. The quiet was heavy, pressing down on him like a weight he could not lift. He looked around the small apartment. The walls were bare, except for a few old pictures, and the furniture was simple, worn by years of use. Outside, the city lights twinkled faintly, but they offered no warmth. The world outside seemed alive, moving, but inside, Liam felt frozen in time. He missed her voice, her laughter, the way she could make even the darkest day feel lighter. Sighing, Liam placed the photograph back on the nightstand and closed his eyes. "I wish I could see you again," he whispered, his voice shaking. "Even for just a moment. I just want to see you once more." The words hung in the air, fragile and trembling. He didn't expect anything to happen. It had been 3 years. Wishes didn't work like that, not in real life. But as he sat there, a strange warmth began to fill the room. At first, it was faint, almost like the glow of a candle far away. Liam opened his eyes and looked around, confused. The light seemed to be coming from the corner of his room, near the window. It pulsed gently, soft and golden, filling the space with a calm, soothing glow. Liam's heart began to beat faster. Was this real? Was it a dream? He stood up slowly, stepping toward the light. The closer he got, the warmer it felt. It was as if the glow itself was alive, welcoming him, reaching out. His hand trembled as he reached toward it. The moment his fingers brushed the light, he felt a small, tingling shock, not painful but startling. And then, before his eyes, something incredible began to form. A small shape emerged from the glow, flickering like it wasn't fully real. Liam blinked and gasped. The shape began to solidify, growing clearer. It was small, no bigger than a cat, and it had tiny wings folded at its sides. Its body shimmered like sunlight on water, scales glowing faintly in gold and silver. And its eyes, its eyes were bright, intelligent and curious. They looked straight at him, and Liam felt a shiver run down his spine. The tiny creature chirped softly, a sound like a bell, delicate and musical. It nuzzled his hand with its small snout, and Liam laughed in surprise, the sound breaking the heavy quiet in the room for the first time in years. You're real," he whispered. The creature blinked, tilting its head as if it understood him. Liam knelt down, and the baby dragon climbed onto his shoulder, its warmth spreading through him. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Dragons weren't real, at least not in any story he had ever read. And yet, here it was, alive and breathing, glowing softly in the corner of his lonely apartment. Liam's mind raced with questions. Where had it come from? How was it here? But beneath the questions, a strange calm settled over him. For the first time in a long while, he felt hope, a spark of magic in his life. The baby dragon chirped again and flapped its tiny wings, stretching and exploring his shoulder. Liam reached out a hand to touch its scales, expecting them to be rough or sharp. But they were smooth, almost soft like polished stone. He smiled, a small, shaky smile, feeling a warmth in his chest he hadn't felt since his mother had passed. He thought of her instantly. The way she would hum while cooking, the gentle way she tucked him in at night, the stories she told that made him dream bigger than the small apartment they had lived in. Tears came to his eyes, but they weren't sad tears, they were tears of wonder and relief. Maybe, somehow, this little creature was an answer to the wish he had made. Maybe, just maybe, it could bring a piece of her back to him. Liam spent the next hour sitting on the floor, the baby dragon in his lap, stroking its tiny head and watching it explore his fingers with curiosity. The dragon's presence was calming, almost magical. Every time it chirped, Liam felt warmth flood his chest, like a memory of his mother hugging him tightly. It didn't speak words, but somehow, it communicated something deeper. A promise, a connection, a reminder that he was not alone anymore. Night passed quietly, the city outside dim and distant, and inside, Liam felt a small light of hope. He knew this was only the beginning. The baby dragon was mysterious, magical, and unlike anything he had ever known. But for the first time in years he didn't feel lonely. He didn't feel lost. He felt a strange, beautiful sense of wonder. As he finally lay down to sleep, cradling the tiny creature carefully, he whispered once more, "Thank you for coming." The dragon chirped softly in reply, curling against him like it had always known him. Liam closed his eyes, letting the glow fill the room, and for the first time in a long while, he dreamed peacefully. Dreams of warmth, of laughter, of the mother he missed so dearly, and of a little dragon that had appeared to make the impossible feel real. Outside, the city slept, unaware of the magic unfolding in the quiet apartment. Inside, a lonely man and a tiny dragon had found each other, and something wonderful had begun. Liam woke early, the soft glow of the baby dragon lighting up the small room. He blinked a few times, still half asleep, but the tiny creature was real. It perched on the edge of his bed, its wings twitching and its golden eyes watching him carefully. Liam reached out a hand, and the dragon hopped onto his palm, chirping softly. Its warmth spread through his fingers, and he could feel a strange, comforting energy. He had no idea where it had come from. Dragons were supposed to be creatures of stories, not reality. Yet here it was, alive and breathing, tiny claws gripping his hand gently, and a small, curious tongue flicking out. Liam looked into its bright eyes, and for a moment he forgot everything else. The apartment, the loneliness, even the memories of his mother, all of it faded, replaced by wonder and awe. He watched as the dragon stretched its wings. They were small but delicate, shimmering with a faint golden light. Liam smiled. "You're beautiful," he said softly. The dragon chirped again, almost as if it understood him. It fluttered in the air, hovering a few inches above his hand. Liam held his other hand steady, amazed at how light and fragile it seemed. Yet he felt a strange power from it, a warmth that made his heart beat faster. The dragon landed back in his palm and nuzzled his fingers. Liam laughed quietly, a sound that had not been in the apartment for a long time. He felt a connection, something deeper than friendship. It was as if the tiny creature knew him, knew the sadness he carried, and wanted to comfort him. He wondered if it had something to do with his wish, the one he had whispered late at night. Could this little dragon be an answer to that desperate call from his heart? Liam decided to test it. "Can you do something?" he asked, unsure of what he expected. The dragon blinked, its golden eyes glowing faintly. Then a small spark of light appeared between its tiny claws. Liam gasped. The spark flickered and grew, forming a tiny orb that floated in the air. It pulsed softly, casting gentle shadows on the walls. The dragon chirped happily and batted the orb around with its tiny claws, laughing in a way only creatures like this could. Liam's heart swelled. He realized that the dragon was not just magical, it was alive with intelligence. It responded to him, understood him in a way that went beyond words. Memories of his mother flashed in his mind, her laughter, her smile, the way she would tell him stories of adventure and magic when he was little. The dragon seemed to awaken those memories, bringing warmth and comfort. Liam felt a tear slip down his cheek, but this time it was not just sadness. It was relief. Hope. Joy. Over the next few hours, Liam and the dragon explored the small apartment together. The dragon climbed on the furniture, its claws gentle, leaving tiny glowing marks on the wood that faded after a moment. It flapped its wings, almost as if it were dancing in the air, and Liam laughed at the sight. He talked to it, sharing small stories about his life, his mother, and the long, lonely days. The dragon listened, chirping occasionally, tilting its head as if encouraging him to continue. Liam noticed something strange. When he spoke about his mother, the dragon's glow seemed to intensify. It nuzzled the photograph on his nightstand and let out a soft, melodic chirp. Liam felt a warmth rush through him, almost like an embrace. He realized that the dragon could connect to memories, feelings, and perhaps even bring them to life in some way. It was small, fragile, and yet it carried something powerful within it. He spent the day carefully studying the dragon. Its scales shimmered with colors he could not name, gold, silver, and hints of soft blue that appeared when it moved. Its eyes were like tiny stars, intelligent and full of emotion. The dragon chirped, flapped its wings, and climbed on Liam's shoulders, curling around his neck like a scarf made of warmth and light. Liam felt protected. For the first time in years he did not feel alone. As evening came, Liam prepared a small corner for the dragon. He used a blanket, soft and warm, and made a little nest near the window where the golden light from the city could mix with the dragon's glow. The tiny creature explored its new space carefully, sniffing, chirping, and eventually curling up to sleep. Liam watched it with awe. He wondered if he should call someone, tell them about the dragon. But the thought of losing this magical creature to the outside world scared him. It had appeared for him after all. Perhaps it was meant to stay just with him. That night, Liam sat by the window, the dragon in his lap. He spoke softly, telling it stories of his childhood, of the adventures he had imagined with his mother. The dragon listened, resting its tiny head on his arm, eyes half closed. Liam felt a strange calm settle over him. For the first time in a long while, the apartment felt alive. The loneliness that had pressed on him for years lifted slightly, replaced by a gentle warmth. He realized something important. This dragon had appeared not just to fill the empty space in his life, but to guide him through his grief. It was a companion, a friend, a bridge to the love and memories he had lost. Liam smiled softly, brushing the dragon's scales with his fingers. "You're amazing," he whispered. The dragon chirped, and its glow pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. As he finally lay down to sleep, the dragon curled against him, small and warm. Liam's thoughts drifted to his mother, but this time there was no sharp pain, no emptiness. Instead there was a quiet hope. A tiny dragon had entered his life, magical and real, and with it, a chance to heal, to remember and to dream again. The room glowed softly, a mixture of city lights and dragon light, and Liam fell asleep, feeling as if something wonderful was just beginning. Outside, the world continued in its usual rhythm, unaware of the small miracle that had taken place inside a lonely apartment. Inside, a boy and a dragon had met, and the first step toward a new adventure had already begun. Liam woke to the soft glow of the baby dragon curled beside him. Its tiny body pulsed with a gentle golden light, filling the small apartment with warmth. He smiled as he reached out, letting it crawl onto his shoulder. The little creature chirped softly, nuzzling his neck, and Liam felt a strange comfort he hadn't felt in years. It was as if the dragon carried not just warmth, but a piece of hope itself. He watched it stretch its small wings and blink at him with those intelligent, shining eyes. Then, instinctively, he placed a hand on its tiny head. The moment his fingers touched its scales, a rush of images flashed through his mind. At first, he saw small, familiar moments. His mother laughing as she cooked in the kitchen, the way she braided his hair, and the bedtime stories she used to tell. Each memory felt vivid, alive, as if he were living it all over again. Liam gasped, pulling his hand back slightly. The dragon chirped and nudged him as if encouraging him to keep touching it. Hesitant, he tried again. This time, the memories were longer, more detailed. He could feel the warmth of her hug, hear her soft voice whispering his name. Tears filled his eyes, but they were not tears of sorrow, they were tears of joy, of connection, of love that had not completely vanished. He realized the dragon had a gift. It could bring memories to life, make the past feel real in the present. He didn't know how it worked, but he could feel it in every gentle chirp, every tiny movement. The dragon's warmth seemed to amplify the feelings he had buried for years. For the first time since his mother had passed, Liam felt like he could reach her again, even if only through memory. Excited, Liam spent the day testing the dragon's gift. He held it close, focusing on different memories. Each time, the dragon glowed brighter and the visions became clearer. He saw his mother teaching him to ride a bike, guiding him with patience and laughter. He saw her reading stories late at night, her face soft in the lamplight. He even saw small moments he had forgotten, the way she had kissed his forehead when he was sick, the way she had tucked him in with extra blankets on cold nights. The baby dragon seemed to understand Liam perfectly. It chirped when he laughed, glowed when he smiled, and nudged him gently when he began to cry. The connection was more than magic, it was emotional, almost like the dragon could feel his heart and respond. Liam realized that it wasn't just giving him memories, it was sharing in his feelings, helping him process grief in a way that no one else could. As evening came, Liam noticed something else. The dragon seemed to respond to his thoughts and emotions more than his words. When he wished to see his mother smile, it glowed warmly, and he felt her presence as if she were sitting beside him. When he remembered her voice, the dragon chirped a sound that reminded him of laughter, soft and melodic. Liam understood that this creature was more than a pet, it was a guide, a companion, and a bridge between his heart and the memories he had thought were lost. He took the dragon outside for the first time, careful to keep it hidden. The city streets were busy and loud, but the dragon glowed gently, drawing soft attention from a few passers-by. People stopped to look, fascinated but not afraid. Liam felt proud, realizing that this small creature carried a light that could touch others as well. It chirped softly in response, fluttering its wings like it wanted to explore the world beyond the apartment. Back home, Liam experimented more. He placed the dragon near the photograph of his mother on the nightstand. The dragon chirped, glowing brighter than ever. Suddenly, the image of his mother shimmered in the golden light, her smile growing vivid and warm. Liam could almost hear her voice. His heart ached with happiness and longing. He realized that the dragon could not bring her back physically, but it could make the memories feel alive. It gave him a gift he had never expected, a way to feel her presence again without sadness, only love. Night fell and Liam sat by the window, the dragon perched on his shoulder. He spoke quietly, telling it about his mother, about the lonely days, about how much he missed her. The dragon listened, glowing softly, occasionally chirping in response. Liam felt a deep peace. For the first time in years he didn't feel the sharp emptiness of loss. Instead he felt warmth, hope, and connection. The dragon's gift had changed everything. He realized something even more important. The dragon's gift was not only about the past. It was also about the present and the future. Through it, Liam learned to treasure memories but also to live fully. The little creature encouraged him to notice small joys, the way the light danced on his walls, the quiet comfort of a soft blanket, the laughter of neighbors in the distance. It reminded him that life could be magical, even after pain. As he prepared to sleep, the baby dragon curled against him, glowing softly. Liam whispered, "Thank you, for helping me see her again even if only like this." The dragon chirped and a gentle warmth filled the room, like a hug from someone long gone. Liam felt lighter, as if a burden he had carried for years was finally easing. That night, Liam dreamed peacefully. He dreamed of his mother smiling, of holding the dragon in his arms, and of a world filled with small miracles. The baby dragon's presence was no longer a mystery, it was a blessing. Liam understood that his life had changed in ways he could not yet fully grasp. With the dragon's gift, he had a chance to heal, to remember, and to move forward with hope and courage. Outside, the city slept, unaware of the quiet magic inside a small apartment. Inside, a boy and a baby dragon shared a bond stronger than words. Memories became alive, grief softened, and a small light glowed in the darkness. A gift had arrived in the form of a tiny, magical creature, and with it, the beginning of a journey Liam had only just begun. Liam woke to the sound of soft chirps from the baby dragon curled in his lap. It blinked at him with bright golden eyes, its tiny wings twitching as if ready to fly. Liam smiled, brushing his fingers along its shimmering scales. Life had felt empty for so long, but now, with the dragon by his side, everything seemed possible. Yet even as he felt happiness returning, a small part of him worried. How would the world react to a creature like this? He tried to keep the dragon hidden at first, tucking it away when friends or neighbors came by. But the little creature was curious. It wanted to explore, to move, to interact with the world beyond the apartment. One afternoon, while Liam was making tea, the dragon hopped onto the windowsill and peered outside. It flapped its wings gently, drawing attention from a neighbor walking by. The man stopped, stared, and called out, "What is that?" Liam panicked. He waved his arms, trying to pull the dragon back, but it chirped and leapt lightly onto his shoulder. The neighbor stared for a moment, eyes wide. Liam swallowed hard and said, "It's a pet. A very unusual one." The man nodded slowly, his expression a mix of curiosity and suspicion, then walked away. Liam exhaled, heart pounding. The secret was out, even if just a little. Over the next few days, more people noticed the dragon. Some were fascinated, stopping to watch it flutter in Liam's apartment, glowing softly in the dim light. Others seemed afraid, muttering about danger or calling authorities. Liam felt a cold knot of fear in his stomach. What if someone took the dragon away? What if the magic, the gift it had brought to his life, was gone forever? One evening there was a knock at the door. Liam opened it cautiously. A tall woman in a uniform stood there, clipboard in hand. "We received reports of an unusual creature," she said. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on the dragon, which was perched on Liam's shoulder. The little creature blinked at her, glowing faintly. Liam held it protectively. "It's harmless," he said quickly. "It's just a pet." The woman frowned. "We need to ensure it is safe. It could be dangerous or it could belong to someone else." Liam felt panic rise, but he also realized he had to protect the dragon. He took a deep breath. "Please, you don't understand. It's not dangerous. It helps me. It brings comfort. It's magical, yes, but it's kind and gentle." The woman hesitated, studying the dragon. It chirped softly, nuzzling Liam's neck, and its glow pulsed warmly. The tension in the room softened. The woman's eyes widened slightly, as if she felt something she could not explain. I see," she said slowly. "This is unusual. But we still need to monitor it. It could attract attention." Liam nodded, heart racing, and promised to keep the dragon safe and hidden as best he could. That night, Liam sat with the dragon in his lap, stroking its smooth scales. He realized the challenge wasn't just keeping it safe, it was understanding it. The creature was more than a pet or a gift. It was intelligent, sensitive, and connected to his feelings in a way that made life both magical and complicated. He whispered softly, "I will protect you. I won't let anything happen to you." The dragon chirped in response, nuzzling him gently. As the days went on, Liam noticed that the dragon's presence helped him in ways he hadn't expected. He felt braver, more confident. He began leaving the apartment for short walks, the dragon safely tucked in a small carrier. People noticed the golden glow inside and some were curious. Liam smiled and explained simply, "It's a small dragon. It's friendly." Many were skeptical, but the dragon's gentle actions, chirping, fluttering its wings, even nudging children gently, won over most. Liam realized that the dragon could teach others as well. It showed kindness, bravery, and curiosity. People who had been afraid began to smile, laugh, or simply watch in awe. The dragon had a way of softening fear, of making even strangers feel safe. Liam felt proud, but he also understood the responsibility. This tiny creature carried power, not just magical, but emotional. It could influence people, bring warmth, and perhaps even change hearts. One afternoon, Liam reflected on everything he had learned. The dragon's gift wasn't only about memories or comfort, it was about connection. It helped him face loneliness, grief, and fear. It helped others see the world in a slightly brighter way. Liam understood that caring for the dragon meant more than feeding it or keeping it safe. It meant understanding its needs, feelings, and the bond they shared. But challenges remained. The outside world could be unpredictable, curious, or even cruel. Liam knew that if he wasn't careful, someone could take the dragon, misunderstand it, or worse. He had to be smart, patient, and cautious. Yet he also felt determination. The dragon had come into his life for a reason. It had chosen him, or perhaps he had chosen it. Either way, their connection was real and he would protect it no matter what. That evening, as Liam sat by the window with the dragon curled in his lap, he whispered softly, "We will face this together. I will understand you and I will keep you safe. Always." The dragon chirped, glowing warmly against his chest. Liam felt a deep peace. He knew that life would not always be easy, that challenges would come, but he also knew that with the dragon he was not alone. Outside, the city moved on, unaware of the small, magical bond growing inside a modest apartment. Inside, a boy and a baby dragon learned not just about each other, but about courage, understanding, and trust. Liam understood that the world could be difficult, but with patience, love, and care, they could face anything together. The tiny dragon, golden and glowing, had become more than a gift. It was a teacher, a friend, and a guide, showing Liam that even in a challenging world, there was magic, hope, and understanding to be found. That night, Liam fell asleep with the dragon in his arms, a calm glow filling the room. He dreamed not only of his mother and the memories of the past, but also of a future full of possibilities. Challenges would come, yes, but he felt ready. With the dragon by his side, he could face the world with courage, wisdom, and a heart full of hope. Morning light filled Liam's apartment, casting a soft glow on the small golden dragon curled beside him. It stirred, blinking its bright eyes and stretching its tiny wings. Liam smiled as he reached out, letting the dragon climb onto his shoulder. Its warmth spread through him, a comforting presence he had learned to rely on. Today felt different. There was a sense of possibility in the air, a feeling that life could finally move forward. He had faced challenges before. The fear of discovery, the doubts about whether the dragon was safe, and the worries about what others might think. But now Liam felt ready. He understood the dragon in a way he had not before. It wasn't just a magical creature. It was a friend, a companion, and a bridge to hope. He whispered softly, "We've come a long way, haven't we?" The dragon chirped in response, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Liam decided it was time to share the dragon with the world, carefully. He started with his closest neighbors, people who had always been kind to him. He held the dragon in his hands and explained gently, "This little dragon has changed my life. It's gentle, friendly, and it brings hope." The neighbors leaned closer, eyes wide with awe. The dragon chirped softly, hopping from Liam's hand to theirs, exploring gently. Laughter and amazement filled the room. Word of the tiny golden dragon spread slowly. Some were skeptical, but those who saw its gentle nature could not help but smile. Children adored it, laughing as it chirped and fluttered around them. Adults were fascinated, drawn to the warmth and comfort it brought. Liam realized that the dragon's gift extended beyond him. It could inspire joy, hope, and even courage in others. Its presence reminded people that magic could exist, even in a world that often seemed ordinary and harsh. Liam spent the days teaching the dragon new things. He showed it how to perch safely, how to interact with others gently, and even how to respond to simple commands. The dragon was intelligent and quick to learn, its bright eyes sparkling with curiosity. Every day Liam felt their bond grow stronger. He could sense the dragon's emotions just as it seemed to sense his. Together they formed a partnership built on trust, understanding and care. One afternoon, Liam sat by the window with the dragon in his lap, thinking about his mother. Memories of her flooded back, the warmth of her smile, the sound of her laughter, the gentle way she had guided him through childhood. For a moment, sadness touched his heart, but it was softened by the dragon's presence. He realized that his mother lived on, not just in memory, but in the love and hope he carried, now amplified by the dragon's magic. The baby dragon chirped softly, nuzzling his hand. Liam smiled. "She would have loved you," he whispered. The dragon blinked and let out a tiny joyful sound as if agreeing. It was clear to Liam that this creature was more than magical, it was a healer. Not just of memories but of hearts. It reminded him that even after loss, life could hold beauty, wonder, and new beginnings. As the weeks passed, Liam and the dragon became known in their small community. People came to visit, curious about the creature that glowed like sunlight and chirped like music. Liam shared stories of the dragon's abilities, but more importantly he shared the lessons it had taught him, about courage, kindness, and the importance of hope. The dragon's gentle presence inspired people to be more compassionate, to notice the small joys in life, and to believe in something extraordinary. One evening, Liam stood on the balcony, the city lights stretching out below him. The dragon perched on his shoulder, wings folded neatly. He breathed deeply, feeling the warmth of its scales against his cheek. Life was not perfect. There would always be challenges, people who did not understand, and moments of doubt. But he felt ready. With the dragon by his side, he could face the world with courage and optimism. He thought about the wish he had made months ago, the desperate hope that had brought this little creature into his life. He had wished to see his mother again, even if only for a moment. And through the dragon he had felt her presence, her love, and her warmth. He realized that life could not give him everything he had lost, but it could give him something new, something magical, alive, and filled with hope. Liam looked down at the dragon, who chirped and blinked at him. "We have a new beginning," he said softly. The dragon chirped again, glowing brighter, as if agreeing. Together they had faced loneliness, grief, fear, and uncertainty. Together they had learned trust, courage, and joy. And now, a future stretched out before them, bright, open, and full of possibilities. As night fell, Liam placed the dragon in its small nest by the window. He watched it curl up, wings tucked close, glowing faintly in the darkness. He whispered a quiet promise, "I will always protect you. I will always cherish you." The dragon chirped softly, its tiny body pulsing with warmth. Liam felt a deep peace. Life had changed, not in ways he had imagined, but in ways more wonderful than he could have dreamed. He lay down beside the dragon, letting its warmth seep into him. Outside, the city slept, unaware of the quiet magic inside the small apartment. Inside, a boy and a baby dragon had found friendship, hope, and a new beginning. Liam closed his eyes, feeling gratitude, love, and courage fill his heart. He knew that the journey ahead would have challenges, but it would also have beauty, wonder, and magic. The tiny dragon stirred, chirping softly, and Liam smiled in the dark. The past had shaped him, grief had tested him, but the present held life, warmth, and possibility. A new chapter had begun, one filled with friendship, hope, and the quiet magic of a tiny golden dragon. Together they would face the future, explore the world, and create stories of wonder that neither of them could have imagined before. In the gentle glow of the room, Liam whispered once more, "This is just the beginning." The dragon chirped in agreement, and for the first time in a long while, Liam felt complete. The loneliness was gone, replaced by love, trust, and the magic of a new life shared with an extraordinary friend.